Just going to try and help Dave. He's dived in.
Dave's like switching all the things on his Moog synthesizer, trying to
checking
figure
on
it
my
out.
son.
We got a prompt that Gary is recording. So watch
Yeah.
what you say.
Yes. You're live now.
You'll all receive your royalty checks in the mail. You can look for them. You can look for them in the mail. They won't be coming, but you can look for them.
Look for him, yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right. Well, here we go. I want to welcome everyone to another episode of Vintage Vegas, brought to you by the Jazz Outreach Initiative. Jazz Outreach Initiative raises public awareness of jazz through concerts, classes, and community building. We bring a world of creativity and a higher consciousness to the students, performers, and the audience. Jazz Outreach Initiative was founded to fill a need in the community for greater exposure to jazz studies and awareness, focusing on students of all ages. Through festivals, clinics, and other outreach programs, Jazz Outreach Initiative celebrates the great American art form of jazz by promoting it through the next generation of performers, audiences, and consumers. Our motto is Let's Make a Difference. I'm Gary Lopez, the Director of Programming for the Jazz Outreach Initiative. The Jazz Outreach Initiative's Vintage Vegas series was created to showcase the vibrant music and art scene in the city of Las Vegas. The series focuses on the artists and entertainers, past, present, and future, that make our city the entertainment capital of the world. No artist embodies that statement more than today's guest, a musician that has been a constant on the Las Vegas music scene for over 40 years. Jazz Outreach Initiative would like to welcome the incomparable Jerry Lopez and Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. Welcome, Jerry.
Gary, good to hear you.
Yeah,
Really?
man.
Good to have you, man.
Jerry. Yeah.
Also along with us is the Jazz Outreach Initiative President and Artistic Advisor, Kenny Rampton,
Thank you, Gary.
and Jazz Outreach Initiative Vice President, Kurt Miller.
I just want to thank everybody for being here, for doing this. I just watched you guys do your live show, and it was absolutely incredible. You guys, I remember seeing you when I was in college, if not high school. And growing up in Las Vegas, you guys have been a mainstay in Las Vegas, you know, in my history in Las Vegas, and to the present and to the future. And you guys bring so much positive energy and love to what you do. I can't thank you enough. The concert tonight was absolutely killing. Whenever I come home to see my family, I always make sure that I'm home on a night that you guys are playing so I can come and hear you. And you've been nice enough to let me sit in with you several times as well. And it's just an honor for me to have you all here. I think you're just incredible. One of my favorite bands in the world of any genre, anywhere. And you guys are just awesome. So we want to touch on, you know, some of your history, if you want to share some of the history. This is kind of an after the gig hang because you guys just had a gig tonight. And so I'm curious to know how you guys felt from your perspective. I'm happy to share mine. I watched all the way from New York. And I also want to introduce a very special guest we have here, who is somebody I've known since junior high school. And we went to UNLV together. We played in bands together. And he was a member of Santa Fe. And he and Jerry are very good friends. And he gave me a little bit of insight into your guys' history and what you mean to him, Jerry. He's the band leader for Jimmy Kimmel Live. Mr. Cleto Escobedo is here with us as well.
Sir.
Hey!
Great to be here.
Yeah, man. So with that said, Jerry, I mean, this can just be a free flow conversation, you know. I would love to hear a little bit about the history of the band and the future of the band. Where you came from and where you're going to, and everything in between that you want to share.
Sure. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for inviting us on the show. It really is an honor, and this is such a cool hang with all of you guys, you in New York, Kenny, and Cleto in Los Angeles, and the rest of us here. And I was, as you were speaking and as Gary was announcing us, I was thinking about how far we've come in terms of, you got to remember that myself anyway, I'm like, I was like a street urchin in Santa Fe growing up. I don't really have any education, none as far as music. And so I'm all self-taught. And I always used to, like, I would sneak in when we came to Vegas when we were, you know, teenagers. I would sneak into like the Tender Trap, and I'd see Dizzy Gillespie. I got to talk to him, and I used to go watch Carl Fontana, and you guys, and I put you guys in that same classification. I mean, you guys are up there, and to even be sitting here talking and getting accolades and compliments from you guys is just a huge thing for me. You know, I'm gonna cry.
Man, I cried when you started playing tonight, man. I'm not gonna lie. You guys started playing tonight. I started tearing up, man. It brought me so
Take the
much
shirt off.
joy, man, hearing you guys play. Let the healing begin, man. I want to talk about that for a sec, man, because I'm a firm believer that music is a part of the healing arts, and I know from personal experience that you actually have a couple people in the band who are actual healers. They have studied the healing arts. In the horn section, Danny Falcone. A couple years ago, I was in Vegas and I had a problem with my neck and shoulder, and I was in the emergency room for 2 days. And I came out, they couldn't do anything for me. I called Danny. I didn't even know Danny was into that. I just asked him for a doctor if he knew somebody on the weekend. And Danny's like, well, I kind of do this thing. Come on over, man. Let's see if I can do something. Danny got me out of pain and healed me, man. It's just incredible. So you actually have, and I know Nathan Tenoy as well. They're both deeply involved in the healing arts. And like I mentioned, music to me is part of the healing arts. It heals the soul. Without a doubt. And, whenever I play, whenever I perform, I call it a prayer, call it a meditation, whatever you want to call it. I take a few deep breaths in through my nose, out through my nose, out through my mouth to center myself, and I set my intention, before I play, because I believe that's important to consciously think of music in those terms. So being that before every gig, the motto that I hear is let the healing begin. So I'm curious where that came from, and I'd like to hear your guys' philosophy on music as being healing, because I truly believe it is. So
Sure.
Jerry or anybody else wants to chime in.
Well, I'll tell you how it started, and then you can ask some of the other guys. But when we first started the band, we were at the Palace Station, and I don't even remember what happened this particular day, this particular Monday, but I'd had just like the worst day ever, and got on stage, and after like 2 songs, the whole dark cloud was lifted. The feelings that I had were gone, and I was starting to feel that that thing we feel, right? That euphoria from making music and giving it to people and them giving it back, and I just said, let the healing begin. And man, It was just so true of that thing, and it stuck, like 20 years later. And we find that it does heal. It really does heal. It just doesn't heal us. It heals all the people that are with us, and especially in a live situation. And it's interesting because tonight we did a live internet performance, right? And I believe that people, even though they weren't there sitting right next to us, were getting healed from it. So anyway, that's my take on it.
Yeah. I mean, I was feeling it from New York. I truly was. And the world needs that right now more than ever. So thank you for bringing that. And I hope this is a steady thing you're going to be doing every week. And Frank, I hope once we're on the other side of COVID and we go back to live performing in front of audiences, I hope you keep doing a live video feed, because I'll keep watching from New York if you do. It's great to hear you guys. Yeah, man. Anybody else want to chime in?
To tag in on what Jerry was saying is that we also hope that our people, whoever's watching or listening or there with us, they leave feeling better than when they came in.
Yes, sir.
That's that's part of our healing process. I believe that, and I enjoy it because I get healed just like Jerry and everybody else does.
It started with us, with the band. We would come in, and like Jerry said, he had that night, and every once in a while, somebody else in the band would be like, man, I'm not feeling great today. I need a healing, guys. Come on, you guys give me a healing, right? So we kind of started saying it on stage, and then all of a sudden the audience started to say it too. Man, I feel so much better when I come and listen to you guys, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of started to spread, and the audiences started to say, hey man, I need a healing tonight, right? So it grew into this organic thing. First it was us in the band, lifting each other up, and it
Yeah.
spread to the audience, and now it's become a thing. Let the healing begin.
I got a whole bunch of people texting me tonight, and almost every single one said, I've been healed. Like everybody watching. That's real cool. Yeah.
That's great.
It's beautiful, man. So I want to go back in time a little bit and bring Cleto into this. I would love to hear how, Cleto, you got involved with Santa Fe. Hear the story behind, your friendship with Jerry. And Cleto, when I spoke with Cleto a couple days ago, he mentioned that Jerry was really instrumental in his career and has helped him out. And I would love to hear some of, a little bit about that. You guys' relationship and friendship.
Yeah. I started playing in lounge bands when I was still with you at UNLV, I think.
Yeah, I remember.
I forget a piano player, I forget his name, but he got a gig somewhere at the Tropicana or something. He was making $250 a week. I said, what the fuck? Are you kidding? I was making $75 a week at Miller's Outpost. And I was like, I think I'm going to try to get a gig. Anyway, long story short, I got a call to play with a band called the Indigos. And
yeah, I remember the Indigos.
I remember them. I worked with them.
I remember Phil playing with them too. Yeah. What's that trumpet player's name? Who played with him? Kazoo. That guy has some chops. I remember Kazoo.
Yeah, he had chops like a gnat. Mosquito tone.
Anyway, sorry, Cleto.
No, man. I have a ton of stories about them, but let's stick with Santa Fe. Luckily, we were playing at the Hilton and the old Hilton, and we were alternating with Santa Fe. And I was on a break, and I kind of heard some cool shit coming from the stage, so I went over there. Then I saw Jerry singing, I forgot what he was singing, a Prince song or something. He had his long hair and this long coat. And I was like, that's the baddest looking motherfucker ever. I want to be him. And we met, and turns out he knew my dad's band from years ago, a band called Los Blues. And we just kind of knew a few of the same people. And we kind of just kept in touch, and he was like, one day I might need someone like you, and maybe you can hop in the band at some point. And, I was just like, I think I went on the road with the Indigos to Atlantic City, but the whole time, all I could think about was like, how am I going to get in this fucking band? Because this is like the coolest band I've seen here in Vegas. And Jerry, and it was a different inception of the band, obviously, then, but I just knew I wanted to work with Jerry. So eventually, shit happened, and I got in the band. And I learned more in those 5 years than I've learned most of my career. And Jerry's my mentor, my big brother, my hero. And also too, Lenny, who we played in the band together too in that inception of Santa Fe, and I learned a lot from him. We had a lot of laughs. We had a lot of shit. But yeah, so that's how I got involved with Santa Fe. And again, it was one of my best musical experiences of my career. And it's been a long one and a weird one, but yeah.
That's great, man. I love that you're working with your dad on television and stuff, man. It's just so good to see you. Whenever I put on Jimmy Kimmel Live, man, to get to see you and your dad playing together, and
yeah, that's really fun. That's really, really fun. And again, like he used to come sit in with Santa Fe all the time with us and have fun, and never knowing he would end up being on this gig. We're going on 18 years now, so he was able to retire from his job at Caesar's Palace to this job playing, and I feel like if anyone deserves it, he does. Not because he's my pop, but he's one of the best dudes I know.
Yeah, man.
So,
very cool. Yeah. All right. Well, man, I kind of want this to be a free flow. If anybody has anything they want to say, they want to chime in. I don't need to lead the conversation at all, because this is a hang.
Lenny here. This is Lenny here. Yeah, I want to say something. Going back to Cleto and Cleto's years with the band, we had some great times. But man, the one thing about Cleto when he joined the band was, he was really young, and And I had just gotten back in the band, and Cleto was already there. And I was kind of skeptical, you know, because I did know Cleto's dad, and he was a monster. But I'm looking at Cleto, he's like 18 years old, and I'm thinking, man, I don't know, man, is he going to cut it, you know? I never met anybody that had bigger balls than Cleto. He was like so ready for the moment, you know? And the more we worked together and the more we sang together, the more I realized like how good and how talented he was. And not only that, but the blend that Cleto and Jerry and I had together was the best blend we had since my brother Gilbert had left the band. And it was a real joy to sing with Cleto, man. I mean, just an absolute pleasure to sing with him and play with him. And I even got to play some trumpet lines with Cleto, and we played a little bit of horn. We got into some trouble together too, but I won't mention any of that.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Let's rephrase that. I think I got your ass out of trouble.
Nice purse.
Man.
We all know the stories, man.
Yeah, and here's
Yeah,
we won't tell them here.
here's the thing, guys, is that these guys kept a whole lot of that stuff from me. They protected, like Cleto would keep all of that stuff under the rug so that I wouldn't get pissed off at Lenny, or it was all behind the scenes that I found out years later. Okay, but see those stories. Tell those stories. That would be awesome. But listen, I just want to add something real quick. Before I met Cleto the first time, I used to know about Cleto because I would have people come to me and go, you know, there's this kid in high school, man, and he's got this funny name, but he plays the saxophone and he's really good. And I said, I think I know exactly who that is, because I knew about his father, right, and the band. And then years later, someone would come to me and go, man, there's this kid in college, man, going to UNLV, plays the shit out of the saxophone, and you guys should know. And I go, I know exactly who that is. So the first day I walked into the old Hilton, and I looked up on the stage, and there was this skinny kid with a bow tie and a tuxedo jacket on, singing Sledgehammer. I won't forget it. I'll fucking forget it.
Cleo never could dress.
I looked.
Maybe.
And I said, that's Cleto. That's Cleto's son. So
Yeah,
that
man.
me. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
I remember Cleto I remember summer band. Had to be like 1983, 1984, with Cleto and Phil Wigfall in the summer band, led by Carol Bumgardner. You guys remember that?
Yeah. And Miss B.
Yeah.
You know, it was funny when we were in high school. It seemed like the whole city was pitting Cleto and me against each other or some shit, man. Because you know, they're like, oh, man,
well, there was
Cleo's gonna mop the floor with you and all this other crap,
No,
you know, at
hell
whatever music festival we were at, you know, like Chaffee College or whatever, you know. And it was funny, man. You know, but believe me, man, when I was about I think I was maybe a junior in high school, and Cleto was just like a 9th grader. I think he was at Kenny Gwynn. Is that where you were at? Kenny Gwynn?
Yeah,
Kenny Gwynn
with
Junior High?
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody kept telling me about Cleto. Man, Cleto, this young kid can play, man. And I'm thinking, this dude's bad, you know, bad little dude, man, you know. And it never went away. It never went away, even to the time when we were playing in lounges together. You know, it was like, hey man, you heard about Cleto? I was like, yeah, I know about Cleto. I've been hearing about this jive turkey all my damn life. You know, you know,
let me tell you something.
I'm afraid of hearing about this cat, and man, no, it was true, man. Talented cat, man.
No, but hey, man,
he knew how to play, and his father, shoot, man. When I'd been hearing about Los Blues, you know, also, and when somebody, I forgot who it was, gave me a recording of Los Blues, and wow, that band was badass, man. I really think that band was as badass as like Blood, Sweat, and Tears of Chicago. they should have been assigned major band. That was a
No
really
doubt.
good band.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt.
It was a very,
when I was
very,
19,
very
man, when I
bad.
was 19, I got into a band with Cleto's dad. It was a reunion band for Rancho High School from like 1969 or something.
I was at that gig.
Remember that? So they hired me.
Yeah,
I was 19.
I was
They
there.
asked me to write horn charts because they wanted to have a horn section because it was all, you know, Sly and the Family Stone, all the stuff from the late 60s. And I go in there, you know, I'm 19. I'm not a punk, but I'm not, you know. And I got this older guy playing saxophone with me. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? And he's so humble and so sweet. Like, couldn't have been a nicer guy. But I'm still thinking like, oh, I want my 19-year-old friends, you know. And then somebody laid, I think Hector laid the Los Blues tape on me. And I went home and listened to that, man. I came back, I was groveling at his feet, man. I wanted to shine his shoes. Like, man, I'm so thankful. You're the baddest. That band is ridiculous, and he is unbelievable, man. What an amazing.
Made your shoes look like mirrors too.
And
Man.
the coolest dude. Let me tell you something, man. He is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met in my life, man. He is a great cat. Really, that was a great experience.
It's like on Goodfellas, man.
Yeah, man. So I remember being at UNLV playing in UNLV Jazz Ensemble with Frank Gagliardi with Phil and Cleto. That was the alto section in the band when I was at UNLV. Yeah. And both you guys just inspired the shit out of me, man. Thank you for just playing so damn good all the time. You're just incredible musicians, and you still are. I want to.
Man, thank you.
Yeah, man. I want to move forward a little bit. I left Vegas and came back, and all of a sudden, Santa Fe now had this whole horn section with them. At what point did you add the horn section, Jerry? Did you decide to make this horn section happening like this?
So here's the story. So we were at a certain point. I was a musical director for some Mexican artists, Lorenzo Antonio and Sparks, and I put a band together here in town. And Cleto was in the band, and Lenny was in the band, and Dave Richardson, right, Dave?
Yeah.
And
Can
so,
you hear me?
Yeah, I got you there, Dave. So we put a horn section together, and we would do these like crazy gigs, man. Like we would play like rodeo grounds, you know, like with the bulls riding and the bells going and everything, and but we would like land in like some, you know, city with an airport, and then we drive a van through farmland to get to this big shed. Anyway, we're in this van, and Eddie Garcia, the drummer, or somebody threw in a cassette tape in this van that was like Earth, Wind and Fire, and it was Greg Neer. I won't forget. He leaned over the front of the van and he said, "Man, why don't we put a band together like that we could, you know, great shit." And, you know, the first thing that we all thought was, yeah, but, you know, I mean, where could we get paid and how would we do it? And nobody would. But we kept talking because we had nothing to do but to drive and talk. And after a while, it was like, okay, so wait a minute. If we were going to do this, what would that band look like? What would be the configuration? What would be the instrumentation that we would need to pull off all the stuff that we really dig doing? So we started dreaming about this and talking about it, and realized that you know it'd be too hard for one person to get all the charts and arrangements and all that together. So it was like, okay, we kind of picked out who the guys were that we were going to have in the band, and I said, okay, each guy bring a chart of something you love, something you could never get away with in any other gig, some original song or a cover or whatever you want to do. And because I think there was 13 of us at the time, we had a show, right? And so that's how it started, man. It started with us dreaming and just, all of us at the time, we were making dough, but none of us were really satisfied or fulfilled, I don't think, musically at the time in the things that we were doing. And so this was something we dreamed up, man. You know, that's how it happened.
Killing, man.
What year was that? Dave, you remember?
1999. 1999.
99. Okay. So I want to bring some of the horn players into the conversation, man. Rob Mader is someone, he came to UNLV right when I left. I remember he came to New York with UNLV band. And I was living in Brooklyn. In fact, I think he came to my apartment with Gary and other people from UNLV band. I think that may have been when I met you, Rob.
That's true. Yeah, and I remember you made it to see us play at the Village Vanguard.
Yeah.
And I came up to you up to the bar and I said, so, hey man, I'm just curious how people got around New York, you know, and how did you get here? Thinking subway or whatever. And you said, I practice.
The old line, the old line. But yeah, that's
pretty well.
that's well, thanks, man. But that's when I met Rob. I think it was a little bit later that Nathan came onto the scene, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't remember Nathan from back then. But all I remember about Nathan is all of a sudden I'm hearing about this guy who's doing all this writing and unbelievable trombone playing. Everybody's raving about him, and next thing I know, when the first time I hear you guys hear the Fat City Horns, Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, it's like, man, who's doing all that horn writing? Like, well, it's Nathan. Like, man, who is this guy? Where's he from? And just checking out his own records and what he's doing, he's seriously grown into one of the most prolific writers on the scene today, anywhere. And it's the writing you're doing for this horn section, Nathan, is just phenomenal. I got to say, it's just completely badass.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Some of the hardest stuff also to play, I can't play half of it.
Writing beyond yourself.
but I have to say, I mean, Dave Richardson writes a heck of a lot of the tunes too for the band.
Okay.
We really, so at least half or maybe more a lot of it is Dave's, and he's just an incredible horn writer. He's not a horn player, but he writes for horns amazingly. So
Was it you and Dave that do all of the writing for the horn section pretty much?
yeah,
pretty much now.
Yeah.
Occasionally we get something from an outside writer, but it's mostly Nathan and me.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Well, this horn section, was the horn section formed to be in the band, or were you guys already a horn section doing some stuff?
Ooh,
Here's
what's
here's
the
two
fancy
names.
Yeah.
Two names. The Storm Show and the Sofa Kings.
There you go, baby.
All right.
That's right.
Expand on that.
I remember the soap.
Jerry?
Okay, so right. So I had been out on the Livin La Vida Loca tour with Ricky Martin. I came back from that, and while I was out, I heard rumor that Ricky Martin's management and Mandalay Bay were partnering to put together a multi-million-dollar show at Mandalay Bay. I immediately started campaigning to be the musical director for that show. Now, you have to remember, I told you I have no education in music, right? And so I bullshit my way to gigs.
You jive.
Because you jive. So, anyway, I convinced them that I knew what I was doing. And so I put the band together, and we had a three-piece horn section. It was Danny Falcone, Nathan Tenoy, and Jerry Mera. Right about that same time, or was it before the Clint Holmes gig came to be? I'm trying to remember the whole timeline thing. Maybe one of you guys, but
Clinton was a year before.
Like
That was
01.
First. Clint's
Like
gig-
2001, we started.
well, that's right. That's right. So all right. So here's how it actually happened. We had been talking about that whole thing about putting the band together, right? This dream band. And I had been doing some gigs with Clint Holmes at the Golden Nugget. And then I heard from Clint that they were in negotiations to go into the main showroom at Harris. And I talked to Phil Wigfall. We started talking about putting this super band together for the possibility that we could become the band for Clint Holmes at Harris. So that was the impetus of us really getting together to put this band, dream band together, because there was an actual gig that we could possibly get. And so that's exactly how it went down. We did our first gig at the Palace Station with his super band, and Clint immediately, they hired the entire band to be the house band at Harris, which we were there for 6 or 7 years, I think, something like that.
Years.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of like the thing. I don't have the timeline straight, but some of these other guys might, but that's kind of how the horn section came to be with Santa Fe.
Well, we've got some videos queued up. Do you guys mind if we play one that features a horn section?
Yeah.
Sure.
Gary,
No, not at all.
you got that one?
The horn section all the time.
Which one do you think I should play?
I was thinking that one from the desert. Is that one cool?
There's something.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
Okay. Let me get it queued up here, and I'll take care of it.
There's something in the desert.
You guys, it seems like it reminds me of like a scene from the Blues Brothers or something, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, by the way, that's Mike Turnbull, our good friend, doing the camera work.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. That's Mike.
All right, man.
You sharing the sound?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Hey guys, there's something in the desert.
Another hitchhiker?
Dead or alive?
Terrific place to find him. What is he doing?
Did you fall out of a plane? I'm so happy to see you guys. I just wrote a new chart, and I really want you to try it. It's really easy, guys. Don't worry. 1, 2, 3.
God damn.
Hey, guys. I thought we nailed it.
You are guys, there's something in the desert. Me? Yeah.
That
That's
was
so
great.
killing, man.
Hey,
There's something in the desert. I love that, man.
I got a quick question, man. How long did it take all you guys to cram in that car?
Yeah.
I loved how you had your horns in the trunk with no cases.
Yeah, right.
We had to set that up. Yeah.
And it was a hurricane that day, right? I mean, the wind.
Yeah,
How long
man.
did it take?
60-mile-an-hour
So
gale.
windy. Oh my God.
Jerry, so we talked about having how the band expanded with the horns, but over the years, I would go see Santa Fe, and it looks like you guys, after you did this, you actually expanded with your vocals also, and you added, like Tony and Tyreek and Manny, and was that a conscious decision, or did that just happen because it balanced the band out?
Well, it happened. A lot of it happened because here was the deal. Since we weren't really doing this for money, there was really no limit to the amount of guys that we could fit on a stage if we thought it was going to. So here's the deal. Sometimes one of the guys would have to be gone on the road for a gig, or this guy would have to be gone. So we had these guys who would come in as subs or whatever, and then they'd end up staying. It's kind of like, I'm still trying to get rid of some of these guys. I don't know exactly what.
But every time I come see Santa Fe, I hear you sing, and then I'll hear Lenny sing, and then all of a sudden, I hear Jamie sings, you know, up front, and then he sings solo, and then Tyreek sings, and then Tony sings, and it's just like a stable of world-class singers and musicians that just blows you away every time. And
now we're really blessed in that great musicians want to play with this band, and great singers want to sing with the band, and so we've got a pretty deep bench of really strong musicians and singers who want to be part of our healing. And man, what at it.
Sorry.
Just been able to
easy.
Amazing talent. What can I say?
It's an embarrassment of riches, man. Like the vocalist in this band just brings a whole another dimension, actually several dimensions to your sound as a band. And I got to say, when I came and saw you, I don't know if you, I think it was the first time I sat in with you, and my fiance with me, and I had to pull her out of there because Tony started singing, and she was like, "What?" So I said, "Hey, come on, baby, we're leaving now." You guys are just so incredible through and through. The whole band is just, man, it really is an embarrassment of riches. You guys, there's not a better band on the planet. You know, you guys are on the highest of levels.
Kenny,
You know?
the coolest thing about this band, man, minus maybe one or two guys, everybody's so cool and nice, and it's like there's no ego anywhere in this band, and all these guys have every right to have massive egos, you know, and nobody does, man. Everybody gets along. We go there. It's like a family, and it has been that way. I mean, this has been 16 years I've been in the band, and it just feels every time you go, man, you know, that healing thing can be a little contrite, but it's true, man. It's like just walking in the room and like that feeling we get for being around each other, you know, it's amazing, man. It is such a gift. This thing has been the greatest gift, at least for me, and probably for everybody in the band. It's just been unbelievable, you know?
Well, if this band had been there when I was younger, I would have never left Las Vegas. My dream would have been to be a member of Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. Seriously.
Wow.
You guys
Wow.
are just incredible. I've always wanted to be a part of a band like what you guys are and be part of a horn section like this. You know, you guys are just so incredible, man, and inspiring. And what you're saying, Danny, about how everybody is cool and gets along and all that kind of stuff, you feel that in the audience when you come and hang out and listen to you guys. It's just positive energy. You know, it's light. It's like being injected with I don't know how else to put it other than love, man. It's just like there's just such positive energy you feel coming from the stage from all of you. It's just incredible. It really, truly is.
That is true. It really feels that way.
Yeah.
We all know how special that is. Like, we've all been in so many different bands over the years, right? So to be in a situation like this where, you know, like Danny said, everybody, there's no ego. It's like when it's somebody's time to sing or somebody's time to solo, they step out, do their thing, kill it, go back, let somebody else come out and shine, go back, then it's another person's turn. And like, that's the teamwork and the camaraderie it's one of the most special things about this whole situation.
Yeah, man. It's just killing.
I agree.
Is Tony there with us? Is Tony out there?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
What's up, Tony?
Can you fucking say something?
Man, it was great to hear you tonight.
He is muted.
I'm having trouble hearing you guys.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
There you are.
Turn your hearing aid on there.
If we all mute our mics, we can hear him better.
Oh.
There we go. What's up?
What's
up, Tony?
Who's vibrating?
Hey, hey.
That's Bruce. That was
All right, so you guys had your first gig back. When's the last time you played a gig together before tonight?
tonight.
Before tonight.
Before tonight.
About 6 months ago.
It's been about 6 months?
I think it was
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, it was March.
March
And
9th.
is this going to be happening every week now? Is that the plan?
I'm going to try to make that decision actually by tomorrow. We want to keep doing this, but we're looking for sponsors. We're trying to find people who will help us. We've got a 6-man crew aside from the 15-piece band. to make this happen. And it's a lot of work. And so we're trying to find a way to get some dough so we can at least pay the crew. And but we may go to a pay-per-view way so we can monetize this a little bit and help us. Guys like Kurt Miller, I mean, has donated so much of his time and his money. He's been a huge benefactor for the band, and I mean, he's invested in a lot of stuff, and he's just so generous with his time and his talent and everything that we want to see if we can roll some money back in and pay some of these guys, you know. Speaking of which, I was going to ask Cleto. So, Cleto, are you tired of making all that big money and want to come back and work for like $50 a night with us, man?
Well, at this point, I'm kind of ready, man, to be honest with you.
Love, man.
I was just going to ask you guys how it felt to feel a fucking kick drum up your ass. Like, I haven't felt a band in 6 months, and it's depressing.
Yeah.
So it must have felt good to play with your guys and like sing and harmonize, and you know, like, and the horn section sounds great. The rhythm section, it's like, it was cool to see people playing together. Like, it's my wife was saying it was depressing. You say you got cheered up. I got cheered up because I was like, I forget how much I miss playing with guys.
Yeah.
And with how much we love each other and how much we give to each other and one another playing, you know, and it's been rough for 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, Jerry, you know, I'd like to see Cleto back too, but you know, is he coming back to replace anybody in particular? You know, I don't know.
No beards on the band, man.
I love my job too, you know.
Like I said earlier, we don't have there's no cap on this. There's no limit. Listen, we've got honorary for this band. You know what I'm saying? And
this horn section goes to 7.
That's
right.
Dave will be
Hey,
busy.
you know, it'd be a little cramped on stage, but I would dig it.
Yeah.
I already sidebarred
That would give
Jerry.
Dave
I
and
just
Jason
wanna...
a little bit more to do, you know.
A lot more to do. A lot more to do. Rewrite everything for 7 horns. Right.
It's just one voice, man. Come on. How hard can it be?
Oh, easy. It's really easy.
Well, Cleto plays the saxophone, but he is a gifted singer. I mean,
That's right.
I'm just
So
saying.
which vocal
No, thanks.
plays?
No, I was gonna tell a story earlier. It's like Phil was saying how when we met and blah 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 blah. So we get to UNLV and I sit next to Phil. And I finally got with the 2 o'clock band because I played in all of them. I played all the 2 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, and then the zoo band as they called it. So I sat next to Phil and he was lead alto, and I heard him play, and right away I was like, meanie, 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 meanie. I was like, let's sing around this motherfucker. Like, he's
I always
the baddest
wonder why you
motherfucker
did that.
around.
That was weird, man.
I'm cool. Like,
Weird.
let him play the sax. I'll sing and play some shit. Anyway, you've always been one of my favorite sax players ever, Phil. So just so you know that.
You know, I came to UNLV right after the year you guys left. So all I heard was about Cleto and Phil. I mean, so thank you for that. Your reputation preceded.
The whole program went to crap after we left, right?
Hey, Cleto, I hadn't heard that term in years, man. The zoo band.
Yeah,
I remember that too.
What was that? 3:30? Was it 3:30?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, 3:30.
Mike Smuckle used to lead it.
Yeah.
Do you remember the other sax player that was in there with you for a while?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now who it was because that summer before I went to school, Jimmy and I, Kimmel and I, had watched all the reruns of Good Times like every night religiously that summer. I go and set up for the zoo band. Who sits next to me? Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker.
I'm like,
was great.
Yeah. He was second alto, and I was giving him lessons on the side, and he called me high C.
I gave him lessons.
Like a high C. Yeah, so I think Phil and I we would juggle him and give him lessons. He had
trying to fix a broken.
I forgot what it was, like a 78 Cadillac Eldorado that he drove around. And I remember about it. That was quite
My
the
big 7'8".
Yeah, Lito, I think we were just around for him to try out comedy material because all I did in my lessons with him was laugh and joke.
Me too.
You know,
I remember playing in his band. He had a band and I played in it for a while. You remember he had like a rock band or something?
Oh,
yeah.
I remember playing a pep band with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pep band, yeah.
Gotta love Las Vegas, man.
That's too funny, man.
Hey, you guys want to check out another one of your tunes?
Sure.
Anybody have a favorite? Eric, you haven't talked much. You want to pick one?
Yeah.
Got to unmute yourself, though. All right, never mind. Somebody else?
Roshan.
So
Say something, Roshan.
It's kind of an interesting story for me because I moved to Vegas in '99. And so I was hearing from Greg Neer before I even moved to the town about Phil and this band. And so I got to Vegas in December of '99. So they just started playing. So I went to see you guys at Palace Station and was just like, oh my God. So yeah, I was pretty blown away. One of my favorite tunes is San Diego, still to this day. So.
All right, Gary, can you cue that one up?
I don't have that one in the queue, man. I'm sorry.
What?
Should I go newer material?
Yeah.
Just do a quick Google on it. Is it on YouTube?
Gary's an awful DJ.
Ain't that
peculiar?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ain't that? Let's do Ain't That Peculiar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I got to play on that.
That's right.
Gary.
Give me a second. I'm terrible at this, man. I'll go sit in the car.
No, you're doing a great job, young man. I'm very proud of you.
Fire up those ones and twos. Wow, look how young we
You do me wrong, but still I'm crazy about you. Stay away too long and I can't live without you. Every chance you get to seem to hurt me more and more. Each certain makes my love stronger than before. I know flowers go through rain. How can love go through pain? Yeah. And that peculiar asking me. And a peculiarity. Yeah, yeah. You tell me lies that should be obvious to me. I'm so in love with you, baby, that I don't want to see. All the things you do and say are designed to make me blue. The doggone shame my love for you makes all your little lies seem true. If the truth that makes love last longer, what do lies to make my love stronger? Oh, ain't that peculiar? Peculiar as can be. Ain't that peculiar? So peculiar, baby. Oh, hey, hey. All right, y'all, time. I know love can lead to tears, but I cannot lead to tears. Ain't that peculiar? Peculiarity. Ain't that peculiar, baby? Peculiar as can be. I should be coming out the door, but you keep me coming. I should be coming back for more. You keep me coming back for more. Hey, back. Hey, back. You keep me coming back for more. Keep me coming.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good band, man.
Those guys are good, man.
So I would like to ask, some of the, we've talked to them. Come on, Gary.
So Wells Fargo.
I can't get this.
Come on, Gary.
Put the $5 on the table, Gary.
That's right.
Drinking?
What is the
drinking? What you drinking, man?
I've always loved, going here in the horns and everything. But one of the things that's blown me away about this is the vocals on Santa Fe throughout the years. And, watching that video, I would like to introduce, 3 of those vocalists that are here. I'd like to introduce Jamie Hosmer, Tyreek Johnson, and Tony Davidge. And I'd like to ask you guys, man, what's it like to stand in front of this band and feel that energy and put that forth, because this is not a common thing to stand in front of a 15-piece band like this and be able to do this at that level. And I'd like to hear what you guys think about that.
Probably very loud for them.
Well, for one, it's awesome to have a big, powerful band behind you like that, and you have to kick ass, man, because excuse me my language, but you have to step it up. These guys put so much into it, and I feel great singing these guys in front of me. The power of the band behind me, horn section, the rhythm section, everything, the vocal harmony. Man, I'm on cloud 9 when I'm singing with these guys.
Yeah, man.
Tony, you there? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's unbelievable singing with that band. It's the power that's behind us, and singing with all these other great vocalists. It's unlike any other thing I've ever been with. It's a real pleasure.
Yeah, man. There's so many unique voices in the band, and a lot of different timbres. For me, I love singing harmonies. That's one of the things I love to do. That's why I love to listen to the horn section, right? I love to listen to all the different colors and palettes that the Fat City Horns has. But when they play together, it's like, bam, it's this one glorious sound, right? So singing harmony is the same thing, right? We're all looking to make one beautiful sound all at the same time, different timbres, different voices. But that feeling when everything gels and meshes like that, it's magical, right? It's magical. So, I'll never forget the first time that I got on stage with this band. I was scared out of my mind. It was the most frightening thing for me to look around and go, what the hell am I doing up here, right? Because it's like you're hopping on a freight train, right? And you're just like hanging on for dear life, right? And
like
man, but right, yeah, like a hobo. But man, over the years, it's been the greatest musical experience to be a part of this, and to get to sing, to sing on top of a Dave Richardson or Nathan Tenoy horn arrangement. It's kind of indescribable in a sense, you know. I love to look out in the audience and see people that have never heard the band before, and just to see their expression, because we've heard it time and time again. Like, hey, hey, my buddy invited me to come hear you guys, and I was like, well, all right, I'll go see this little band, in this little lounge or whatever, right? And so I love to see people's expression, because it's probably near impossible to describe Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns to somebody, right? I don't know. That's, it's hard to describe it, right?
Right.
No, I can't really describe it.
We're kind of
you have to experience it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's something about feeling it live too that's so different than even virtually. Like, thank God we have a great audio engineer, but when you're there and the air is being moved by everyone, and you're sitting in front, like there's one song I don't play on, and I always go sit in the audience, and I just can't even believe it, man. What hit, the power is so. It's like a giant gorilla picking you up, and you just you can't even move. It's unbelievable. It really is. It's an experience.
So my friend Bill Champlin from the band Chicago, and before that, the Sons of Champlin. He tells me, Jerry, when I see your band, he goes, man, I swear I have to remind myself to breathe. That's how it gets in the audience for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that for us. And here's the other thing with this band. We all, some of the guys talked about the great vibe and how much we love each other and how we feel about each other and what a great time it is. The thing I think that keeps us at the top of our game with each other is that we respect each other so much. And so I don't want to come to that stage without bringing my A game. I mean, I wrote a lot of the stuff, and I have to practice that shit before I get on stage with these guys every Monday. And I'm not going to let Dave and Jamie and Nathan and Johnny, our rhythm section, man, Johnny Friday and Roshan Westmoreland and Gabriel Falcone, they're a machine. I'm not kidding you. Those guys. So I think all of us feel that way about each other. We come not wanting to let each other down, and I think that's what keeps the level up.
It comes across. And Jerry, since you brought them up, man, we actually wanted to talk about the rhythm section, because this is one of the baddest rhythm sections I've heard in any genre, man. You guys are ridiculous, man. Any of the folks from the rhythm section want to chime in about, playing with a band? And Jerry, you play and you sing, and Jamie and the rhythm section, man, you guys lay down a groove like nobody. It's incredible. It's so much fun. And like to go and hear you guys play again, man, it's an experience. You can't describe it. Like you said, you really can't. I've talked in depth with Clint Holmes about you guys, and you are his favorite band on the planet. You know that, right? He says that and he means it, and there's a reason for that. What Jerry just described, every one of you is just an incredibly bad what. And we haven't heard a whole lot from the cats in the rhythm section, so I'd like to ask if you guys got anything you want to add, and then we're probably going to need to wrap it up. We've been going for more than an hour now, so just if I can hear from the rhythm section a little bit, that'd be great. And then maybe some sage advice or words of wisdom from Jerry, and then maybe we can go out playing one more song. So rhythm section, what you guys got to say about yourselves?
Dave.
Yeah, man. I've been in the band for a long time, and like you say, you want to show up with your A game. You don't want to show up slacking, because it will come across and you'll get caught with your pants down. Now I've seen that happen. So it's like, when I'm at home chilling, it's like, all right, I better get in there and get, because I don't want to show up not prepared. And that's the thing. We trust each other to be prepared, and it's like when you drive in a car, it's like, man, I trust that this person ain't gonna run over me, so I trust that these parts are gonna be played correctly, and we're gonna have fun doing it. And that's what it's been for 25 years.
Wow. Same.
I'd just like to say much I've learned from playing with the other guys. I mean, some of us come from different backgrounds. Like I came from college, jazz, jazz school and college education, and some of the other guys were street taught and self-taught. And I just love the way when we put it together, you hear those different influences. And if you keep your ears open, you're always learning from somebody who had a different background than you. I mean, I can't tell you how much I've learned about funk from Roshan and Jerry and Johnny and Gabe from playing over the years. It's just, if you're listening to them, you're gonna be learning something and always improving. And that's been just a never-ending source of joy for me.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, I also wanted to mention, Gary and I started this nonprofit organization, Jazz Outreach Initiative. We've got several programs going on, and several of you guys have helped us out with our programs. Phil Wigfall has played with our Jazz for Young People program. We send a jazz sextet out to the schools to teach the kids about Miles Davis or Thelonious Monk. We started a youth jazz orchestra, Las Vegas Youth Jazz Orchestras. And Danny Falcone is one of our mentors. Kurt Miller is a mentor for us. Rob Mader has come in as a mentor. I've worked with Nathan Tenoy several times at UNLV with essentially the Ellington program that we brought there. And you guys are such an incredible part of the community, not just Santa Fe, but the community in Las Vegas. What you guys are doing for Joy for Jazz Outreach Initiative, I can't thank you all enough for helping us with our programs and for doing this tonight. I just think the world of every one of you, man, each one of you. You're all incredible people, incredible musicians, and I want to thank you all very much for being here, for doing this with us. Cleto, love you, brother, man. It's great to see you.
Love you, brother.
We got to keep better in touch, man.
Yeah.
And Gary, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I just want to add that, I look on the screen and I see, dear friends and people that are part of not only, my musical life, but the fabric of my life. And, some of the best musical moments that I've had as a musician and as a listener of music have been with you guys. I mean, I think, Kenny and Phil were the first friends I made when I came to UNLV. And, to have this relationship with you after this many years and to see you guys and to have this kind of thing happen, it means a lot to me. And, there's not one time that I've asked anything of you guys that you guys haven't stepped up and said, hey man, I'm with you. And that just says a lot. Jerry talks about respect, that comes across when you guys play and when you perform it, but it also comes across when I see you guys in your everyday lives. So I just want you to know that I appreciate that so much. So thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Gary.
That's great.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Gary. Man, going back, man, with Gary, man, I remember when he first came to UNLV, he didn't even wear shoes.
Since this quarantine started, I still don't. So it's been a long way.
That's funny.
All right, before we go out, I want to play one more tune, or one more, it's not just a tune, but Jerry, you got anything else you want to say before we play this last thing?
I just want to thank you guys for having us on the show. And sitting here thinking about the last time you sat in with us, Kenny, man, you just, the roof came off of the place. Your tone, your phrasing, your power, everything, the way you think. I'm telling you, I was moved, and I know a bunch of people were the last time you said it was. And I was looking at Gary a second ago, and Gary, you did a couple of those gigs with us with those Mexican artists, right?
I did, man. Before you came on, I was talking to Lenny about our San Jose trip.
That's right.
Actually, Cleto was on that trip, man.
Oh boy, that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. That's exactly right, man.
Was that the night with the moonshine?
That, well, you know, don't give it away now.
Oh, don't mention moonshine.
Can I just say something?
Please, please.
Oh.
No, I just want to.
Night at Walt Blanton's
I
house
admire
with
you.
moonshine.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to say how much I admire you guys and this inception of Santa Fe. It's like you guys are amazing, and I love hearing everything that you do. And I wish I could be a part of it more. It breaks my heart that I'm always working on that Monday that you can play whenever, but I'd love to play with you again. And all you guys, I respect you so much, and I love you musically and personally, and thank you for letting me be a part of this tonight, because you know I'm kind of far removed, but I really, really love and respect all of you.
Come down here and do a live stream with us, man. Come do a live stream with us.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I want to play. I want to play all soprano parts, so it's just it.
Hey, let's not get carried away.
Why not?
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Love you
I can't
guys.
tell you how much I appreciate all of you, and how much Jazz Outreach Initiative appreciates you for being a part of this. Your After the Gig hang. Congratulations on a successful first gig back. You guys are the best. We're going to go out with, I think, with Soul Trilogy, if that's all right.
All right.
Kenny, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Gary, Kenny, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
You gotta have that soul power, soul. Is it soul power, soul? Is it soul power, soul? Is it soul power? I said, break my hip, woo! I let my backbone slip. I said, I don't care, as long as you put it there. You gotta have that soul power, soul. Is it soul power, soul? Is it soul power, soul? Is it soul power? I said, take me home. I said, I don't care, as long as you're out there. Take it over there. To do my thing. Hit me. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Go, go. Number 2. Don't know what to do. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. Long as you know where the beat's at. You gotta have that soul power, soul. This is soul power, soul. This is soul power, soul. This is soul power. So take me home. I don't want it. I want to be alone. Now, everybody, come on. Horns. Yeah. Hit me. Somebody take me to the bridge. I don't want to. I said, take me there. Somebody come over here. I said, hit me. Hit me. I don't want to. Yeah, somebody, I gotta kick me back, kick me back. Ow! You won't let me be myself. Hit me. I don't want it. Come on, now somebody, I gotta kick me back. Pepe, count it off. Oh, it's gonna get real funky, y'all. Look at it. This is soul. Come on. Oh. Yeah. Got the change up and everything, baby. People, I know you got soul. Oh yeah. I say people, let me tell you there's much more. I say people, I know you got soul. Oh yeah. funky with me. Say,
Soul, 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 soul.
come on, put your hands together. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody, come on, come on. I'm gonna say it one more time. Take the Lord on with you everywhere you go. Take the Lord on with you everywhere you go. You're gonna need him everywhere you go. Take the Lord on with you everywhere you go. Say power, Lord, 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 that was you, my baby. Come on, everybody.
That shit is nice.
Get that. Come on. Shine, baby. Horn, shake it. I'm on the man. I'm on the man.
Yeah.
I'm on the baby. Everybody. Celebrate, get live. Come on. Celebrate, get live. That's how we do it. Hey. This is how we do it every Monday night, y'all. Come on, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. I do this house. Let me hear you say yeah. Two fingers.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was super long.
That's insane, man.
That's all
What can you say after that? Damn.
Man, I got another healing. Another healing.
Yeah.
Insane, man.
Oh,
Thank you, gentlemen. That's incredible, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Guys, thank you so much.
Cocaine
Man.
can help drugs.
I'm all wore
Good to see
out
you all.
now.
What a way to go out. You guys have a good night, man. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
You guys.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, man.
Peace. Two fingers.
Peace, baby. Peace.
Two
I'm wore out, man. Stop
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
This is like when you have a
Cocaine.
girlfriend in high school. You say goodbye. No, you say goodbye. No, you say goodbye.
This is gonna air on Wednesday. Wednesday
great.
at 3:30.
Wonderful.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
All
on
right,
the Story
guys.
Facebook page. Thank
Kurt,
you all so
Kenny,
much,
Gary,
man.
thank you.
Thanks,
Nice to
man.
see the band
Thanks.
again.
I know, yeah.
Later.
Have a good night, man.
Peace out.
Y'all be well.
Peace. Bye.
Philip Fitzgerald Wigfall.
All righty.
Great to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Kenny, man.
Yeah, Rob. Thank you all, man. I don't want to go.